Hi guys, it is Tamara. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about psychopathic males, and this is the final video on this topic for the month of February. I actually had another video planned, and then I had a couple of you, maybe 10 of you, ask if I could do a video on psychopathic males. So I figured we would go ahead and talk about that and contrast it to the video on Wednesday, which was about, or actually the video on Monday, I believe it was, about sociopathic females. So we're gonna go ahead and just follow up with this video. So thank you so much for coming back to my channel. For those of you who are subscribed, and for those who are new, I encourage you to hit the subscribe button so that you can stick around with us and be a part of our growing and validating as well as educational community. The benefits for you in today's video is that I'm gonna highlight a couple of, at least 8 to 9 male-specific characteristics of psychopathy. All right. So, like I said in Monday's video, we talk about this all the time on this channel. There's really not much for me to go over in terms of what it is and how it affects you. But I do want to point out some differences between the male and the female psychopath and sociopath, because I think it's important. If you watch the video that I did a couple of months ago on psychopathic mothers right up here, and then you go back and watch the video that I did on psychopathic fathers right up here, you're going to see that there are some differences, but there are also some similarities. I'm going to wait for this ambulance to pass. I actually, in my office, I am on what they call like a business district, a business stretch. And so there's police right down the street. There's an ambulance right down the street, like an ambulance company. Then we have a fire station like over this way. And so I'm like right in the middle of all the action. So this makes for really funny YouTube clips, that's for sure. But so let's just go ahead and get back on track, okay? So there's some similarities and some differences between psychopathic females and psychopathic males, or sociopathic females and sociopathic males, okay? So if you go back and watch those videos that I did, you'll see some similarities, but you'll also see some differences. So I want to utilize this video to kind of talk about the male-specific characteristics that you're likely to see, okay? So the first male characteristic that you are likely to see in a male sociopath is boldness, okay? Boldness, basically a nonchalant, bold attitude that says, I don't care who I offend, I don't care that I hurt you, I have absolutely no empathy, I just want what I want and I want it now, okay? So that is boldness. There's also boldness in terms of no forethought. There's impulsivity in doing things that negatively impacts other people, such as, maybe engaging in burglary, maybe engaging in stealing someone's vehicle on the spot, maybe engaging in conning someone or manipulating them. So there's this sense of boldness that I have no boundaries, no restrictions, and I don't care who I hurt. Right? The reason why this is specific to males is because males tend to display more of an aggressive kind of persona when they have these sociopathic tendencies, okay? The next one is disinhibition. And what I mean by that is no restraint, okay? No restraint. There's impulsivity, there's, instant gratification, there's instant need for stimulation and heightened arousal. And so because of this, you're going to get individuals who, may rape on the spot, right? They just meet you and you refuse them sexually because you want to respect your boundaries and his boundaries or whatever. And, the minute you try to say, no, I'm not ready for this, right? They may say, yes, you are, and you're going to do what I want you to do. And then, here comes sexual assault or rape, okay? The other way that you can look at disinhibition is, they engage in substance abuse. They may drive very fast and risky. They may gamble and spend money without really being mindful of the consequences. There's no ability to pull back and process and use what we call higher order thinking, right? The ability to make decisions appropriately, to control impulses, right? To weigh the pros and the cons. There's no ability to do that, okay? So the male sociopath tends to be bold, and they tend to have an inability to kind of hold themselves back and process things before they do anything. Okay. The next is meanness. Now, there are some female sociopaths who are mean, but for the most part, it mainly characterizes men. You know, kind of like this mean, angry, aggressive, yelling, feisty individual, right? Who is always screaming and yelling in the house, who's always threatening and bullying and intimidating, right? We would consider that emotional and psychological abuse in the Child Protective Services arena. Okay, there are some parents, some fathers, I should say, who engage in behaviors that do make them mean, right? They bully their kids, they intimidate, they're aggressive, they threaten, right? They throw a lot of empty threats around. Spouses, there may be some sexual abuse in there. There may be some manipulation, some control, some meanness, okay? Next from meanness is going to be conning and manipulation. Males tend to be the most sly and tricky when it comes to conning and manipulation. They can con an attractive female by complimenting her. They can con their boss into things by being smart, witty, and intelligent, right? They can manipulate their way into a job position just by showing and displaying all the characteristics that's on that job description. So they know how to manipulate their social arena in order to get what they need and what they want, okay? The next is a shallow affect. You may get some really attractive men who, you know, you would really like to get to know here, but they are so shallow that they don't know how to meet you here, right? All they want to do is look good, have you as a trophy spouse, model themselves, right? They may even engage in thuggish or pimpish-like behavior, right? They may be very disregarding and disrespectful to women. They may have this kind of, if you remember in the video on Monday that I did, I called it disguised misogyny. Disguised misogyny. I think that's what it is. It sounds so weird, guys. It really does. But, you know, they may have, these shallow men may have this dislike towards women, but they're not going to tell you that, right? Because they're going to pimp you first. They're going to prostitute you first, right? They're going to disregard you. But there may be this undercurrent dislike for women, all right? The next is a parasitic lifestyle, okay? A parasitic lifestyle. Okay, so next is the parasitic lifestyle. The parasitic lifestyle. And what that is it's a very manipulative, conning, and emotionally abusive and dependent need on others to financially support you. A parasitic lifestyle, right? They kind of attach to you like a parasite, you know, and they kind of drain you of all of your financial resources. They drain you of all your resources, right? And they may do it in a way that's really hard to determine. You may feel that they really need you. You may feel that they really need your financial support right now. And because they're handsome, and because they're charming, and because they're sweet, and because they're loving, and because they know just the right thing to say, you're going to give in. And then they gotcha, right? They've manipulated you at that point. Okay, the next one is promiscuous behavior. Women sociopaths or female sociopaths, as I talk about in this video right up here, they engage in promiscuous behavior as well, but men do as well. And the way that they engage is a little bit different, right? So women may sleep around, they may have several spouses. Men may also have several spouses and several mates, but they also may pimp the woman out, or they may prostitute the woman, or they may sell sex, or they may sex traffic, right? So they get a little bit more aggressive in how they go after the things that they want sexually. Okay, there may also be some morbid, for lack of a better word, sexual behavior. So tying up and chaining and some of the really awkward sexual practices that rarely has anything to do with love. Okay. And rarely has anything to do with experimentation and just having fun with one's spouse. So there's an aggressive component to that sexual desire and sexual behavior, okay? And last but not least is a need for stimulation, and there's this high impulsivity, okay? So a need for stimulation may result in methamphetamine abuse or use, right? It may result in abuse of ADHD medications because it's a stimulant. It may result in multiple sexual rendezvous use in order to get that feeling of excitement and stimulation, right? So you may have men having multiple affairs. You may have sex trafficking. You may have men constantly looking for prostitutes to sleep with because it gives them this internal adrenaline rush, right, that they need. You may also get crack cocaine use because, again, it's a stimulant. And then you may also get other risky behavior like gambling and selling oneself and really doing things that are legally exploitive or legally detrimental. And they like to come as close to as they can to getting in trouble because it's stimulating. So these are behaviors that are often characteristic of males, psychopaths and sociopaths. And I think it's important to know the differences because, if you're taking a male lens and looking at females who are sociopaths, you're never going to find the female sociopath. And if you're using a female lens to understand a male sociopath, you're not going to understand the male sociopath. So you really need to have that knowledge of both so that you can really make sense out of who's standing right in front of you and maybe who's sleeping right next to you every night. Very frightening to think about. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel, guys. For those of you who have been participating and subscribed, and thank you so much for your support and your compliments. I love giving you guys material that I think is helping you and that you tell me is helping you. So go ahead in the comment section below and let me know if there's something else in this topic that you want me to focus on during the rest of the year, because we're going to come back to this topic little by little. All right, guys. So I will see you on probably Sunday. I'm going to post another early video for you. I'm kind of experimenting with time, so stick around for that video on Sunday. We're going to start talking about treatment tools. All right, I'll see you then. Bye.